first thing that they're going to notice is my color. So hey wonderful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you back, and if you're new, thank you for stopping by. My name is Jacinta. On this channel I just do my personal vlogs, and most importantly I do my life experiences here in Germany. So consider subscribing and being part of this family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for retaining. You guys are just the best. As you can see from the topic, today I'm going to be talking about the challenges that I face in nursing. So I just don't talk about the good sides. I also have to say the things that I face so that you can be aware before you also start studying, or before you go into this nursing Ausbildung, yeah? So the first challenge that I want to talk about is a language barrier. You guys, like, as long as you're not born here, the challenge barrier is always there. Quite alright, there's some people who've got, like, you know, this language like just comes like tuck tuck tuck, like they are done. But some of us, it's just a hassle, like it's not so easy. The tongue won't be fluent like others, but it is what it is. The language is a barrier because I have to learn, I have to speak, I have to write exams, everything. Like, sometimes if I fail to understand what we do in class, what I do is I write those notes down, and then when I go home I have to work with Google Translator, and then on top of that I also go to YouTube and just watch some English videos for me to understand, and then I go back to my German book. So it's not so easy like with the language, and also just like talking, because you talk with this old generation, with this generation, like they're on the owners of the language. So it's not so easy like where like you're just like fluent and just speaking to them. Quite alright, sometimes you feel like I'm good, but the owners of the language, they always say there's something that is failing. So it is what it is. The language, I'm not born here, so it will always be hard, but that's just the challenge that I face. So if you are looking for doing this Ausbildung, please don't be like me, like learn so much when you're still home. At least get until C1, so that when you start doing this Ausbildung, you'll be like good and everything will move perfectly. And you know, it is what it is. So if you're considering of doing this Ausbildung, please start studying now the German language, so that you can be perfect and you know everything will just move in smoothly. And if possible, you can go to C1 so that you can just be perfect, like nothing will come your way, yeah? The second challenge that I have a lot of practical and like the theory. So I have usually like 3 months practical, and then I have 1 month in my theory block. So it is always hard, because regardless of how far you've learned or anything like that, there will still be exams that are going to be coming. So learning doesn't stop, regardless of me having my practical, like working full time from like 8 to 5. Like there's full time, there's no room for anything. So for me, when I'm going back home, sometimes I'm tired, but still I need to learn, because whenever I go back to school, I'm going to be writing exams, and even my practical at the end of it, or I always have to get a grade from that. So it is not so easy. You always have to be like learning, regardless of where you are. Like whenever you have the free time, I always have to learn. So that is the other challenge that I usually face. I don't know about others, but for me, like I feel like I don't have so much time to learn, unlike the time that I work. And sometimes, you know how it is, like it's a full-time job, you're so tired, you're home, you don't know, like you just want to lay down, but still you need to learn so that you pass, because if you fail, like there's no way for you through. So that's just the other challenge that I have. So before you start doing this or anything, just know that you need to know so much. Like you need to be reading, to be studying every time, even if you're at work. Like I don't mean like at work present and just start studying, yeah? I mean like when you're home, when you have your free time at your own space, like you always have to know, like you need to learn. Then the other thing that I usually face is the fact that I'm a foreign and I'm a person of color. So definitely there are going to be challenges that I'm going to be facing. For example, I'm a student and there'll also be another student. We go to a practical place and they'll still prefer that person because that person is white, and like me who's black. So it is what it is. There's some people who are like that. Sometimes when I just go into a room, or maybe go into a room of patients or colleagues, the first thing that they're going to notice is my color. So some will start asking where exactly I come from, what I'm doing in this country, why this country, why my hair, and all those type of questions. So these are the challenges I feel like I always have to answer to their questions regardless of what. So it is what it is, because if a white person who is a foreign goes in, they won't notice until that person starts to speak, or maybe that language is not so good, and then they're going to notice that this person is not from this country. But for me, it's written here. It is what it is. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but that's just a fact. So the other challenge that I face is the fact that I'm always changing teams. Like I always have to change teams every time, because I work like in different stations. I go into the hospital, into the old house, into the kinderabteilung. So it's not so easy, because all those things that I'm changing, I'm going to be finding different colleagues and I have to fit in, you know what I mean? So some people, because I'm just going for a short period of time, they wouldn't really want to have anything to do with me. Like they wouldn't want to build a relationship with me, because I'm just there for a short period of time and then I'm going to go to another station. So it is what it is. Like others really are so nice, like you meet so many good people, and then there are also some that really don't want to open up because they know like they've got nothing to gain. You're just going there for a short period of time. So that's another thing. Like for me to just fit in these teams is not easy. That's another challenge. The last challenge that I face is the fact that I'm there for a very short time, and then at the end of it all, I have to be graded. So whenever I'm at school, it's a short period of time, but then I'm still going to get a grade. And then when I'm in my practical, I still have to get a grade at the end of it all. So that's a challenge. Like it is always learning. So it's so stressful. Like you always have this thing, you at the one corner you need to work, another corner you need to learn, another corner it's a language which is there. So it's not so easy. Like especially in the practical places, they've got nothing to lose. So whether they are good to you or they are bad to you, you just have to be who you are, because they've got nothing to lose. But for you, you need to gain that grade at the end of it all. So these are the 5 challenges that I've been facing and I'm still facing. Maybe there's some things that I've missed. Please come into the comment section, let me know, so that we can like share these ideas, because definitely there are some people who are in Germany doing nursing who still watch me. And if this video helped you in any kind of way, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you've not yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Till next time, guys. Bye.